Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio, and this week there is a lot of Marvel news that came out, and probably because What If just released on Disney Plus. So expect to see about 3 videos today relating to Marvel, and there's at least 2 that are in the pipe for tomorrow, and there might be a third. I don't remember. I lost count. But anyway, before I dilly-dally for too long, let's get into the article for today, and that is Marvel Studios only pays comic creators $5,000 for using their stories. Marvel reportedly only pays comics creators and writers $5,000 along with a ticket to the premiere of the movie their work is being used in. A new report indicates that Marvel only pays comics creators and writers $5,000 if their stories are used in any of the MCU feature films. To date, Marvel has released 24 films in the MCU, with the 25th premiering next month when Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings hits theaters. And believe me, boys and girls, we will get to Shang-Chi today. But I don't want to spoil too much because I want you to watch the next video. Marvel will release 2 more movies this year, Eternals and the highly anticipated Tom Holland-led Spider-Man No Way Home, the latter in partnership with Sony. In 2022, Marvel will release a total of 5 films, each of which are likely to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, that's debatable given the industry and where it's at now. With tentpoles like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Black Panther sequel Wakanda Forever being of particular interest. Marvel Studios has also moved into the streaming realm in 2021, premiering hits like WandaVision. I personally have not seen WandaVision, so I'm not speaking on it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, same thing, never watched it. And Loki. Now, Loki I did actually watch, and I really, really enjoyed. Winter Soldier co-creator Ed Brubaker revealed his mixed feelings surrounding the show earlier this year, but creators of the iconic characters usually stay mum. And yeah, guys, for those that don't know how big Ed Brubaker is, Captain America would not be popular without Ed Brubaker. Nobody gave 2 shits about Captain America going as far back as the 90s and even going into the 2000s. It wasn't until Ed Brubaker came along and created the Winter Soldier storyline is when Captain America got very popular. And it actually got me to thinking about this quote that Ed Brubaker gave back in March when Falcon and Winter Soldier released. I had completely forgot about it until, I was making this video. And, he's talking about, his mixed feelings on the show, as was, reported on the previous article. And here's the actual full quote from Ed Brubaker. It's quite lengthy, so we might be here for a couple minutes. The quote, and Ed Brubaker said, quote, "And of course, today, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show debuts on Disney Plus, which I sadly have very mixed feelings about. I'm really happy for Sebastian Stan, who I think is both a great guy and the perfect Bucky/Winter Soldier, and I'm glad to see him getting more screen time finally. Also, Anthony Mackie is amazing as the Falcon, and everyone at Marvel Studios that I've ever met, all the way up to Kevin Feige, have been nothing but kind to me. But," and notice the emphasis on the but. It's like if you go to a party and you tell someone, "I'm not a racist, but," it's usually never a good sign. But getting back to the quote, but at the same time, for the most part, all Steve Epting and I have gotten for creating the Winter Soldier and his storyline is a thanks here or there. And over the years, that's become harder and harder to live with. I've seen higher-ups on the publishing side try to take credit for my work a few times, which was pretty galling, to be clear. I'm not talking about Tom Brevoort, sorry, I almost said his name wrong, who was a great editor and really helpful. So yeah, mixed feeling, and maybe it'll always be like that, but I sure hope not. Work for hire work is what it is, and I'm honestly thrilled to have co-created something that's become such a big part of pop culture, or even pop subculture, with all the Bucky Steve/fiction. And that run on Cap was one of the happiest times of my career, certainly while doing superhero comics. Also, I have a great life as a writer, and much of it is because of Cap and the Winter Soldier, bringing so many readers to my other work, but I also can't deny feeling a bit sick to my stomach sometimes when my inbox fills up with people wanting comments on the show. So, I'm sure I'll watch it, and you should too if you're a Marvel Movie Universe fan, but I'll probably be waiting a while to check it out myself, so please don't email me any spoilers, I guess, but go give Sebastian Stan lots of love wherever he is online," end quote. So, Yeah, creators have been speaking up for quite a while. They've just been a little hush hush, and I think what's actually helped them is the fact that Scarlett Johansson is currently suing them for unpaid royalties herself. But let's get back to this primary article. The Marvel Studios only pays comics creators $5,000. So here we go. According to The Guardian, Marvel pays writers or artists whose work is featured in an MCU film a flat $5,000 fee. 3 different sources confirmed this amount. Additionally, they also send the creator an invitation to the premiere of the movie their work is featured in. Marvel declined to comment on the matter. Well, no shit. Citing a concern about privacy when discussing these matters, no, they just don't want to confirm that they are criminally underpaying their writers, which has been the norm in comics for decades. And not just comics, but even screenwriting as well. But that's a whole other ballgame for another time. To date, the MCU's 24 movies have grossed nearly $23 billion at the box office, and several of the films have crossed the $1 billion mark on their own. Avengers Endgame was the highest grossing movie for a time before James Cameron's Avatar took back the title. Really, I didn't realize that that Avatar took the title back from it, but okay, that's actually pretty funny. Captain Marvel, Captain America Civil War, Iron Man 3, Black Panther, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Avengers Infinity War all surpassed the $1 billion mark too. Once the box office recovers, it seems all but guaranteed that the franchise could continue to post record-breaking numbers. That is debatable given the state of the movie theater industry, but I've gone over that several times in the past, and I'm not going to retread over old ground. This certainly indicates that Marvel Studios and Disney itself is more than capable of paying the creators of these characters a much better fee. Well, no shit. The fact that they don't is deeply concerning. There would be no MCU without the writers and artists whose work served as the inspiration for the live-action franchise that millions around the world now enjoy. Now this information has come to light, coupled with the damaging lawsuit followed by Scarlett Johansson concerning the release of Black Widow. Disney and Marvel can't take much more heat. Hopefully this information, alongside pressure to give artists their proper due, could see a change in the ways they compensate the artists that are vital to the franchise. Personally, I think we're going to see Disney and Marvel Studios change their compensation structure to give the writers more, because let's be fair, they're in some pretty hot water right now, especially when they came out and basically attacked Scarlett Johansson for not quote unquote taking the pandemic into account type bullshit. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here because, and actually, one last thing. I don't think anyone would give 2 shits about writers' compensation if the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit had not happened right now. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Now I'm really going to end it right here, guys, because I've gone on longer than I needed to go. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I am terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.